Okay, so Arsenal Football Club, Arsene Wenger's gone, and it was we all thought it was Arteta, but apparently now it's Unai Emery who is now the new manager of Arsenal Football Club. So I'm going to come to the Gooner straight away. What are we saying?
Till it's confirmed, you can't speculate.
It's confirmed. Yeah. Alright, cool. So are you happy? Are you happy with that decision, or are you a bit skeptical?
Do you know what? Yeah, it's not one that I would have thought of. Like I didn't see it coming out.
Came out of the blue.
It came out of the blue. But in terms of the type of manager that he was going for, I don't think it's too bad, to be honest with you. The guy is a nurturer. Like, he develops players, he's successful, he's done pretty well at Seville, very successful in Europe as well. And I think he's done a good job at PSG. They wasn't winning Champions League since Neymar got injured. So, to be honest, he hasn't put a foot wrong for me since I've known his managerial career, which was at Seville. Can he do what it takes at Arsenal? My biggest thing, it's not even so much the manager, my brother. It's this £50 million transfer key that they're talking about. Offering these managers.
That was rectified still. That was rectified still.
He's going to take the job on that.
No, that was rectified. So I think it was something about more to do with the agent fees and just like, I think signing on fees, just like the little things. Because anyone, Arsenal do not have just £50 million. We have to be very...
I'm tired of that team. In the sense that I love my club, but it's the same old story. Even now we've got peace, it's almost like we're just tired. We're changing, it's a new era, make the fans come out. Wenger's gone, like, we're giving them a good send off, like, go get Luis Enrique. You know what, I'll take Brendan Rodgers, yeah? Like, get somebody that's just gonna, you know what?
Rodgers would have been a better option.
Brendan Rodgers, I'm telling you now.
Why is that? Why do you guys
would
think
have
that?
been a perfect option.
He almost won the league with Liverpool, come this close if it weren't for Gerrard, right, making that slip up. And obviously he's done the Invincibles. It's in Scotland, but he's still done it.
They went 65.
And he was renowned at Swansea. Like, look how much.
Yeah, but no, but think about it. They went 65 games unbeaten. That's mad. So think about
Liverpool Football Club, you know.
The players that he's done,
and he plays good football.
This is Arsenal Football Club.
Arsenal are not as big as people think they are.
No, but you got to remember something. The team back then, the team that I'm talking about, the Invincibles, the first, the double winners. This is a big club, you know. So
how big is that club though?
No.
That was a long time ago.
But I'm just saying that
you can't be. Look, like, I think the key thing you're doing right now is what Liverpool fans will do all day long. Tell me about, we won the Champions League this many times.
Istanbul.
Were you born? When you won the league, were you born? Do you understand? So
Micolli 2001 FA Cup final.
No, but I'm just saying that.
Some
we're talking about winning stuff. Yeah, cool. We won our fair share.
Some guys,
I'm not being funny.
Like the period that Wenger had when he was winning stuff and he was challenging, he was actually finishing second, but it was by a few points. Do you understand? Winning, maybe when he's won the most FA Cups, so it was not like he wasn't in the hunt for the the title in those periods. That, let's say the first 10 years of his tenure, he was in he could have got 5 titles, and it maybe would have looked better on his CV and etc. But the thing about Arsenal now is that they've capitulated so much over the years that where they are now, it's like the person is basically starting again from scratch, and they're thinking in their head. In theory, because the thing is,
my club, but just
no. Okay, think about it like this, yeah. Is there balance to your team right now? Think about it throughout the team. Is there balance? There's not balance to your team. You haven't got enough leaders, yeah. You've not got any wingers anymore. Iwobi needs to.
We've never had wingers. We've never been a club that's played with wingers. We sort of created
You've had inside forwards,
which is what we have now.
Was Ljungberg the only pure winger you had?
Ljungberg, Perez, they're all inside forward.
Yeah, I heard that. But
the last age of a winger was Overmars, really and truly.
Overmars, Reyes.
Reyes ain't even a winger.
Reyes was like a striker kind of as well. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm saying with your system and with the team, the key thing is unbalanced. So thinking about who you're going to take it that's going to work with your, like Ramsey plays great sometimes, absolutely dodgy some other times.
You know what we're leading Ramsey, which I think you're saying is Brendan Rodgers. Like, he's produced the players that we're reaping off for now in the Premier League. Sterling, Gomez, what's this guy's name?
Alexander Arnold.
Alexander Arnold, yeah. Just to say a few. Then there's the players that he wanted to go for when he was at Liverpool. So Dele Alli, for example. You think Dele Alli in that team, if they kept him one more year and he didn't lose the players that he lost, Sanchez, Sturridge, different team.
And he's proven in the Premier League. Let me read you this thing, right, an Arsenal fan put about Emery, right? Yeah. Emery, he was our third choice managerial target, by the way. This is what an Arsenal fan put. He put, Emery never finished in the top 4 with Sevilla. He didn't win a single away game with Sevilla in 15-16 season. He had a shocking stint in Russia and was sacked after 5 months. Renowned for bottling games and getting hammered by big teams, which is Wenger recently. Lost the league to a very young Monaco side at PSG. And so if you're losing the league, well, obviously he won it in his last season, but if you're losing the league at PSG, to a Monaco team, like that should be guaranteed every season in the French league.
That Monaco team
is that league.
That Monaco team was disgusting.
Monaco team
only there 2 years, and that
Monaco team was
the money they're spending
Monaco
at
team did their job.
PSG.
Well, no, but see, this is what I'm saying. This sounds like an Arsenal fan.
They lost like three key players.
This is an Arsenal fan with a big agenda.
But that's true.
It's true. No, there's truth to that. But then they're also sidestepping the fact that he won 3 Europa Leagues in a row.
Yeah.
He was the first manager to bring Almeria through to La Liga. They were struggling where they were. He brought them up, and yeah, he didn't win the thing at PSG, but he destroyed it this year. Got a domestic treble.
But with the shape that Arsenal are in, and that's the thing, you're looking at him to build this club back up to the top.
Is
he the guy to do?
Obviously, I'm not an inside of the club. What I've read is he is a very detailed individual in terms of how he looks at the clubs, and he went with a whole detailed thing of I've known how this player's been, I've known the injury issues, I've known how this thing. I don't think they'd bring him in without a plan, because from what we heard... How can
he go a whole season without winning an away game? Like, they pretty much nearly did
that's bad, but then, you know...
They nearly did that themselves. So
that's bad.
You want someone who's going to be, like, different to Wenger, who's going to come in and he's going to... Like, that Allegri would have been, or Simeone would have been, like, to shake things up.
Speaking about what you're saying, yeah? The team that he's come from, the team that he's going to, is kind of similar in a sense.
Okay.
Because you're currently 6th. Sevilla are the greatest club at the moment, and even when he was with them, they only banged Europa League.
Yeah, they did.
They only
you could argue is what they could do.
They could do that. They could do that.
So is that going to be Arsenal's level though?
No, I'm not saying that's what the level is. But
think about it. Bought the
4 Champions Leagues.
You know what I mean? Champions League 4-0 lead, Newcastle 4-0, 4-4. It's like
it's the signs.
Number one, Arsenal are going to be screaming about trophies. They've won trophies. If he'd done that for them, if he won the Europa League for them and got them in the Champions League that way, like Man United fans felt when Jose brought Champions League football through winning a cup, not through winning FA Cup.
I guess you know.
Like,
okay. Right. And this is it's a fair point you've made, because this is what we need to think about. Do you want that short-term success, or do you want
long-term? Yeah, you want long-term. Yeah.
The problem with your team is Mourinho, and if we get the wrong manager, you say we're starting from scratch. I heard he wanted to build the team based on Ramsey and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Okay. He
that's not a bad start.
Which I thought
that's not a bad start.
Got some direction. My only biggest fear, and this is why I think getting rid of Wenger at this point was just too soon. I think they should have let him see out his contract, because we're at a point where we've got the players that he's actually nurtured throughout this whole 10 to 13 year period, which have come through the club. And to get someone outside of British football that understands these players, understands the club, understands the league, understands what goes on in that dressing room, for me it's almost like taking a backward step. And that's why I said Brendan Rodgers, because anyone else coming into that, everybody's sort of like playing for their shirt again, and then you miss out the Nelsons. Nelson's got what, 18 months to go on the contract, if that. Okay. You can't lose players like that. We just looked Oxlade-Chamberlain.
You should have had that manager situation in place before letting go of Wenger. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, the Arsenal fans forced the club's hand.
And that's another thing. That's the biggest problem.
They forced his hand.
The fans are making too many decisions, or influencing too many decisions that are or should be based on just footballing reasons. They're things that we're just fans and we're just going to speculate on. But they're things that we know.
Okay, so what would be a good time period for you, for Emery, to maybe get you guys back into like a top 4?
Arsenal, we can get in top 4 next season.
Okay.
Like that's my firm belief. Like
That's cool, yeah.
that's immediately. That's the number one target. You get that team straight back into the top 4, if not even competing. Because for me, I don't look at it as we're starting again. I look at we have solid players that have played Premier League football for a very long time, and they need
the defence. That's an issue.
Yeah, I was going to even ask that question.
They need a manager that's going to bring them out of their shell.
That was a manager that you should have got.
But it's all risk though. You can say that, and then he comes and he does a Mourinho.
No, I'm saying the thing is the football he plays, the mentality he has. You understand? Like where he is now, where's he gone? Yeah. I don't. Is Labour going to respect this guy?
No, never does respect anybody.
That's what I mean.
The thing is,
there, guys.
There's certain. Obviously, with like Real Madrid, everyone knows Ronaldo. Regardless of whoever comes, that guy is the boss. You can't chat to him. He's the boss. Yeah. There's no player like that at Arsenal.
Yo, Michael.
There's no one that.
Guys, we're going tomorrow, man.
There's no one available right now. There's a few managers that are available. Ancelotti could have been a good.
Simeone's the no-brainer, man.
Yeah, but
Simeone's the no-brainer.
breaking the thing is breaking him away from.
He done a masterclass against you guys. Genius.
Alright, guys. Final question to wrap up. What positions, we'll go one by one, just positions do you think Arsenal need to strengthen in the most in this window?
Centre back. I'd say centre back. Definitely need some centre. They're so shaky, like Koscielny in that game against Atletico. Unbelievable. And so many mistakes. Yeah.
Centre backs?
Centre back and
DM. Okay.
Centre back and I think a new goalkeeper.
It's all about
the centre backs.
It's all
the centre backs. We got 3, and then 2 first team centre backs.
But are they good enough, or do you think they need to be improved on? Like, what positions do need to be improved on? What? Yeah.
Goalkeeper. I don't think centre back is as important. I think the first thing you need to go out and get is a goalkeeper.
Okay.
Who do you want?
Who do I want?
That's a hard question.
There's one.
Goalkeeper.
Black. Right, so goalkeeper. Any other positions? To wrap up quickly. Any other
goalkeeper and centre back. I'll probably say the 1, if that.
Okay.
The 1. We've got a DM. Mainly now. Tell you that now.
Okay.
I said Dele Alli's better than Pogba. Remember that.
I still don't. You know. Let's not do that right now.
No, yeah.
That one messed up my head, man. I was like, wait, what's going on? What's going on here? I don't understand. Guys, thank you for watching. Unai Emery, is he the right choice for Arsenal? Should it be Mikel Arteta? Should it be Thierry Henry? Let us know. Like, comment and subscribe.